This episode is brought to you by Borgen and Burkes. What is Borgen and Burkes, you may ask? Well, Borgen and Burkes are designers and manufacturers of fine teak outdoor furniture. But you know what's the upside? That other places trick you or put an illusion for you to pay for white glove service so they can put it together, they can assemble it to you. And that's annoying. Why do I have to pay $400 to $500 extra for them to put it together? Why? Because they want to save money shipping it overseas, unassembled, so you still have to pay for the assembly. Well, at Borgen and Burkes, you don't have to worry about assembly. All the chairs come assembled and ready for you to enjoy. So visit Borgen and Burkes and enjoy your outdoors. In this episode, I'm going to ask you, what kind of company do you keep around you? You should ask yourself this because you need to see if your happiness has shifted, if your pursuit of happiness has shifted as well. If there's been a shift in your pursuit of happiness, then ask yourself, what kind of company do you have right now around you? Because some people are pros in getting to know you and gaining your trust. Some people have that charisma to entangle you. And in other words, put your guard down. They know how to study you. They take their time to know your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities. They get to know your thoughts and even how your life works. And they know exactly what to say to please your ear. In other words, they're going to hear what you want to. They're going to say what you want to hear. They know how to exploit our naiveness. Yes. Sometimes we are so naive to certain things that they know how to exploit that. So what kind of company do you have around you? Have you asked yourself that? Because it is important that if something has shifted in my life, if something is not the same ever since this person came along, wow, you need to stop. And now is the time to make an assessment and ask yourself, what has happened? What has shifted? Sometimes we don't realize that we don't have good people around us. Sometimes we don't realize that having befriended somebody has changed my life for the bad, for the worse. Because in reality, you don't need to worry for the ones that constantly put you down. You don't need to worry for the ones that constantly criticize you or are at odds with you. No, you don't have to worry about them because they're letting you know how they feel about you. So if they're letting you know how they feel about you, are you still going to have them around? No, of course not. And that's a blessing in disguise. They're letting you know right off the bat, hey, I don't like you. So you don't have to worry about them. They themselves are going to let you know how they feel about you. So you don't need to try to please them. You don't need to try to force them to like you. They're not going to like you, period. Sometimes we dwell on doing above and beyond for these people to like us. You don't worry about them. They're letting you know right off the bat that they don't like you. What you need to worry about is, or who you need to worry about is, the ones that have your ear, the ones that take away from your time, the ones that have your trust. Those are the ones you need to be careful as well. Those are the ones that require attention and analysis. Wait a minute. Because you don't know where their heart is at. They're telling you everything you want to hear. But at the same time, I've seen a shift in my marriage. I've seen a shift in my family because I am listening to this person, and sometimes this person tells me how he runs his household and how he runs his marriage. But when I go home and I apply it, I'm at odds with my wife. I'm at odds with my kids, with my neighbors. Why is that? Let's stop and analyze what has happened. It's because we are going to encounter in our lives people who do not have good intentions, people who use people, people who exploit vulnerabilities. Yes, we are. Not all people out there have the best interest for us. There are going to be good people, there are going to be good friends, there are going to be those kinds of people that go above and beyond to help you and don't require anything in return. Let me tell you something: good people, reliable people, people that are worth keeping in your life do not have a transactional relationship with you. Yes, they don't. In other words, they're going to do a favor for you and not expect anything in return. They're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. That is the persons you need to have in your heart, in your life, around you, that do not require a transaction eventually to be your friend. No, they are going to help you when you need the help. But listen, you don't need to worry about anything. I got you. Don't worry. Don't worry. That's the kind of people you want to keep around. But there's other people that seem to be the same, but they are transactional. They are transactional friendships. And those are the friends that we need to analyze. Do we have in our lives? Are you only helping me because you're expecting something in return? Are you considering our friendship a transactional friendship? Do you only want me because you want to get something out of me? Yes, yes. Some people are going to approach you in your life who are transactional friendships, who are going to tell you yes, yes to everything, they're considered yes friends. They say yes to everything to be on your good side because they know what you want to hear. They know your weaknesses. They know your vulnerabilities. They know your insecurities. They're going to gain stuff by having you happy, by always considering, by saying yes, even though, listen to me. Let's put it this way. Let's say I have an event or a party I'm going to attend, right? And I'm going to wear something that is not flattering to me, right? I don't look good in it. I honestly, maybe I look ridiculous in it. But since they are not genuine friends and you come out of your room and like, what do you think? Yeah, you look good. You look great, actually. You know what? Wow. Even though deep down they know I don't and I look ridiculous, but I'm gonna say yes so he can be happy, and I don't give a crap if he looks ridiculous. It's not, as long as it's not me. But hey, he's gonna pay for it. Hey, he invited me. Hey, he has the receipt. Don't worry about it. I don't have to. Yeah, yeah, you look good. Don't worry. Well, yeah, yeah. Yes, friends. Always yes, 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 yes. Don't get me wrong. A genuine friend is not gonna put you down. A genuine friend is not gonna criticize you. A genuine friend is gonna keep it real, and there's a difference. I've encountered a real true friend. It's like, hey, listen, I don't know about that. I'm not feeling it because this or that, or look, your shoulders they look a little off, or oh yeah, I didn't notice that. Oh, I appreciate it. See the difference? And then they even themselves what do you think about this? You should try this on. You look. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. It looks better. Yes. See the difference? Sometimes it's unfortunate, but sometimes our morale is so low, we are so insecure that we want to have those transactional friends. Yes. And they feed off that. They know they are hunting for those kind of friendships. They're looking for those kind of friendships. It's like those guys that are looking for those girls that have a super low self-esteem, have no respect for themselves, and they shower them with words, and what do they get from it? They get a transactional relationship. Those girls start buying them and pampering them with gifts. Yes. Well, there's also friendships like that they don't have our best interests, that even sometimes they don't like the kind of marriage that we have that they wish they had. So therefore, sometimes they even themselves try supposedly to give you advice, but it's only to wreck your marriage, to destroy what they don't have, to see you suffer because they don't like to see themselves. They don't like to see other people happy. And that's when things start going south. And you're like, what's happening? Why all of a sudden am I fighting with my wife? Why am I at odds with my wife? What's going on? What's happening with my kids? Because somebody has your ear. Somebody knows your vulnerabilities and is exploiting them. Somebody with not good intentions has your trust. And let me give you an example. And that's a super clear example, super easy to understand and perceive. Adam and Eve. Okay, Adam and Eve. Who got close to to Eve's ear? Who? The snake. The snake got close to Eve's ear. In order for a snake, let me tell you something, so you can apply it to your life. Something that is loud, something that is making a lot of noise in the wilderness, something that is unknown to you is going to cause you fear, right? Especially if it's loud, especially if it's moving abruptly, and you're in the woods and you see the bushes moving abruptly, and you're gonna get scared, right? Is that how the snake got Eve's attention? Is that how Eve get with us? No, Eve didn't get scared with the snake. Why? Because the snake arrived slowly, gently. It gained her trust. In other words, she dropped her defenses. She got close to the snake too. If the snake would have been loud and hissing and defensive and moving from place to place, I don't think Eve would have allowed the snake to get close. But the snake got close to Eve because it was gentle. It showed that it was caring. It showed that it was calm. It showed Eve that I'm here to listen to you. Yes, that's what happened. So it's easy to, it is important to understand how the snake, being gentle and kind, got Eve to drop her defenses. And not even just drop her defenses, lean. Because when you listen to somebody hissing, or to somebody whisper, you kind of leaned, right? The snake was so gentle that it got Eve to lean a little bit. And then what happened? The snake spewed her poison into Eve's ear. Yes, that's what happened. So that's how we are also going to encounter people. They're not going to show up making a lot of noise and scaring you and yelling and being unhinged and disrespectful and cussing at you. No. They're gonna arrive gently. They're gonna make you laugh. They're gonna gain your trust. Once they gain your trust and you already lowered your guard and your defenses, they have your ear, just like the snake did. But did the snake give Eve words of advice? No, they were words of destruction. So the same way we're going to encounter people who are not going to have words of advice, but words of destruction and turmoil and chaos. They're going to exploit us, use us, and cause havoc in my life, all for their gain, all for their joy. Because you've heard people say too, where are your friends when you need them? Yeah, because they were not friends to begin with. Once you have nothing and you need them, they move to the next person. They move to the next vulnerable to the next vulnerable friend. They look for the next opportunity to exploit somebody else. And that's why also is like when you are in need, that's when your friends really come out and help you. Yes. Once the snake caused the chaos between Adam and Eve, the snake moved on. Her work was done. She didn't stick around to help Eve. She didn't stick around to advise Eve. No, she just wanted the destruction of Adam and Eve. And that's what some friendships are destruction at the moment. And once they've destroyed, they move on to the next one. So we need to be careful. Analyze, where is the shift? When did it happen? When did my pursuit of happiness shifted? Why do I feel uncomfortable now? I feel jittery, a little anxious. I don't know what's happening. What should I do? Yes, we need to start analyzing what happened. Where did this shift happen? Was it the snake that got close to us like it did to Eve? I don't know. That's for you to analyze. So keep that in mind, folks. Those are my words of advice. And thank you for tuning in.